Hello, everyone. When the sky starts to change color and the air begins to vibrate with each beat, it might be the sign of a thunderous strike approaching. Lightning gives no warning, shows no mercy, and always chooses the moment when we least expect it. Have you ever witnessed lightning strike right before your eyes? Join us as we explore the most terrifying lightning moments ever caught on camera, where 1 second is enough to turn everything upside down. Two brothers had just opened the door when a powerful lightning bolt suddenly struck a tree right next to the porch. The deafening boom and blinding flash sent both of them running inside in a panic. One second before closing the car door, the man had no idea that lightning would strike the tree right beside him. The branch crashed down, crushing the roof of the car just seconds after he stepped out of the seat. He survived by a hair, but the car wasn't so lucky. Dancing in the rain during a storm might be fun, but standing under a tree while lightning strikes is a whole different story. It's best to stay away from tall trees in extreme weather to avoid becoming a lightning target. A police officer and his K9 were returning to their patrol car when a lightning bolt suddenly struck near the parking lot of the Apopka Police Department in Florida. The flash lit up the area, and everything shook for a brief moment. The building lost power, and several transformers were damaged. Thankfully, no one was injured. The sky turned a dark gray, and the air seemed to grow heavy. Suddenly, a massive lightning bolt struck the tallest tree right next to the roof. In an instant, the trunk burst into bright red flames from top to bottom, lighting up the darkness. Two young men were standing on a rocky slope when lightning suddenly struck right next to them, hitting a slab of stone near their feet. A flash of light lit up the scene, and everything happened in the blink of an eye. Luckily, both were unharmed, but that moment was a clear reminder that when the sky shifts, it's best to stay away from open spaces. A powerful lightning bolt struck a tree right next to a house, with a blinding flash tearing across the screen in an instant. The roof remained intact, but the unease was undeniable. No one expected that just a few meters could make such a big difference. A lightning bolt suddenly struck the tree right next to the house. A flash lit up the window, instantly illuminating the entire room. The woman inside jolted upright, her face filled with shock. Everything happened too fast, but it left a chilling feeling. On a quiet, rainy night, the Washington Monument stood still in the darkness.
Oh, I missed it!
Suddenly, a massive lightning bolt struck the tip of the tower, lighting up the entire sky.
Oh, I missed it!
In the pouring rain, the people of Caracas could only watch through their windows. Suddenly, a massive lightning bolt struck between the tall buildings, lighting up the gray sky. It all happened in an instant, but the thunder and flash made the entire neighborhood hold its breath. A man was standing on a high floor in Norway when a lightning bolt suddenly struck the rooftop just a few meters away. The blinding light and deafening sound shook everything around him. He stood frozen, stunned by how sudden and close it was. More than 100 miles offshore, 7 people were taking part in a fishing tournament when lightning suddenly struck their boat. A blinding flash lit up the sky, and the deafening boom echoed across the waves, throwing everyone into panic. A lightning bolt struck a utility pole in the middle of a residential area, creating a bright fireball that looked like an explosion in the evening sky. Sparks flew, power lines sizzled, and the entire neighborhood froze for a few seconds. When lightning chooses where to strike, nothing can stand in its way. Right after a powerful storm swept through Louisiana, a massive lightning bolt struck, lighting up the entire night sky. For a split second, the ground seemed to ignite. That moment didn't just shock the eyes. It was a stark reminder that the storm may have passed, but its lingering force is still enough to make an entire region hold its breath. A column of black smoke was rising from the erupting volcano when lightning suddenly struck, slicing through the gray sky. In that moment, earth and sky seemed to merge, creating a rare and powerful scene. Without a doubt, this was nature revealing its raw and unpredictable strength at its fullest. A driver in Tampa accidentally captured an extremely rare moment when a lightning bolt struck right in front of him. Just seconds later in Sarasota, a house was hit by lightning, leaving behind a scene of destruction with shattered trees, a crushed car, and a severely damaged roof. A man stepped outside in heavy rain, laughing and posing in the open yard. Just seconds later, a blinding lightning bolt flashed right in front of him, turning the entire screen white. The rain had not yet stopped when lightning suddenly struck a palm tree next to the pool, setting the entire trunk ablaze in an instant. A blinding flash lit up the sky as flames erupted violently. Beneath a gloomy sky, a lightning bolt suddenly struck the surface of the water, creating a bright streak right in front of a bridge. The flash stretched across the space like a glowing tear in the air. The moment lasted only a few seconds, but served as a reminder that once lightning strikes, there is no truly safe place in the open. During a stormy night on an island in South Carolina, while everything was still cloaked in darkness, a massive lightning bolt suddenly struck the roof of a house. The person filming could only gasp as a blinding flash lit up the sky. A lightning bolt slashed across the night sky, striking the ground with a thunderous roar. But instead of panicking, the person filming the moment shouted out with a reaction so unexpected, it made everyone watching burst into laughter. a massive lightning bolt struck a deserted beach, lighting up the horizon like an explosion. The sand glowed brightly for a split second, leaving a chill, even though no one was in sight. In the blinding rain, a lightning bolt suddenly struck the Dwarkadish temple, a sacred place in the heart of Gujarat. A brilliant flash tore through the sky, covering the entire area in one radiant moment. While everyone was admiring the clouds from the balcony, Mother Nature made herself heard. A jagged lightning bolt cut across the sky, lighting up the entire scene. No warning, just a single flash was enough to make the whole neighborhood freeze. Through a thick curtain of fog, a lightning bolt suddenly tore through the air and struck the ground. No one could see where it landed, but the thunder echoed deep in the chest. After a single blinding flash, everything fell silent. She had just raised her phone to film the rain when lightning struck the edge of the roof. A blinding light burst forth, with sparks flying everywhere. It lasted only a few seconds, but it was enough to make anyone's heart skip a beat. On the morning of April 29th, the sky over Baton Rouge suddenly turned a deep purple as lightning bolts repeatedly struck during a heavy downpour. It lasted only a few seconds, yet it turned the entire neighborhood into a stage of raw electric power. Against a thick gray sky, a lightning bolt suddenly struck the lone mountaintop. The flash split the sky and disappeared into silence. It was a moment that made people look up and remember that the highest places are always the first to face the fury of the sky. In the middle of a torrential downpour, a shirtless man stood in the yard with his arms raised, challenging the sky. Just seconds later, a lightning bolt flashed and struck the exact spot where he was standing. Reckless actions don't always bring answers. Sometimes they deliver unforgettable lessons. A security camera captured the moment a black calf was suddenly struck by lightning across the road from Creekside 66 in Albion, Idaho. A flash of light lit up and vanished, leaving behind a still and silent scene. It was a reminder that lightning does not distinguish between people or animals, and all living beings are small in the face of nature's power.